Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to take a look at the new Profipack from Eduard, and this is a Focke-Wulf 190A-5 in 148 scale. So basically that's another version of the famous Burger, and we have it as a fresh plastic from Czech manufacturer. This is a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and that's the final shape of this kit, and we are going to take a closer look together. So first of all, again, we have a new design. In case you missed it, Eduard recently updated their box design, so now Profipacks will look like this. They have this brass line on the top, black line on the bottom. We can have the white line here, and we have a really beautiful box art. So basically main share of the box art is taken by the picture, not by the writings. Some might like it, some might not. In case you have something to say about it, write it in the comment section. I will be happy to know. But we have a standard Eduard sized box, so here you can see comparison with my hand. Next, on the side we have some information about the kit. Of course, it is made in Czech Republic, and also there are some safety advices. And note that now we have a glossy top sections, which is rather unusual for Eduard. We are all used to see satin boxes from Eduard, and here is another unusual thing for Profipack, because we have not 5 but 6 marking options for this Focke-Wulf. So that's quite an interesting choice, and definitely you'll find something interesting for your build. So that's a top opening box. Just give me a second to open it, and here's what we have inside. As you can see, sprues are separated into several bags. Well, this is better than one bag packaging, because it reduces the pressure on the plastic parts, and therefore you will get everything intact. It won't be broken just because of the excessive pressure of the plastic bag, not from the box. And that's something what happens in some other brands' kits. So in the meantime, while I'm opening the first plastic bag, let me remind you that I posted the link for the donation in the video description. So in case you would like to support our YouTube channel, just press this link. It will be directing you to the PayPal branch, and you will be deciding how much you will get. But even the small donations matter, and of course, if you have something to say, you can leave it in the message and it will be included in the next video. So here we have first gray plastic sprue. It is dedicated to fuselage house. Let's zoom in a bit. And the overall parts division is typical for Focke-Wulf 190. So we have molded with a tail fin but without rudder, and also some cooling area parts are pre-molded, but the frontal section should be molded separately as far as I remember. And external features look really good. So if we zoom in, you can notice we have really nice recessed panel lines and rivets. So be sure not to overdo the layers of the primer and paint, because it would be a shame to lose this under the paint coat. And here, by the way, you can see what is placed inside. So we have guiding elements, we have also guiding tabs for cockpit parts, and don't be worried about the plain looking cockpit area, because it will be upgraded with help of separately molded plastic parts and PE parts, because this is a Profipack, therefore we have some metal parts inside as well. So that's something to consider. And of course you can upgrade it even more with a separate brassine set. It's a resin cockpit which is sold separately, but it will provide you with really crazy features, and even in 148 scale it looks amazing. So here we continue with a second plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to wing parts. Note that ailerons are separate but flaps are molded in, so you will have to get the separate PE set if you would like to get them in the restructured position, otherwise it is not possible. And note that there are even special reduced points, or let's say special borders, which will make it easier to cut off the extra plastic. Here you can see it in the zoomed in version. And again, we can flip it over so that you can see that we have recessed panel lines, we have rivets. It's really beautiful looking molding quality and engineering quality, let's say, because it looks like a real aircraft. So it's just a matter of careful painting and weathering here in order to show these features even more and not to hide them under the paint. So definitely consider special techniques of the pre-shading so that it will be visible on your model as well. Next, we have another plastic bag. That's the second plastic bag and the final plastic bag. So just give me a second to remove it. And we have the clear sprue, which is packed into another plastic bag. It's a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to open it. And by the way, it smells like a fresh molding. That's really funny. That's the first time I experienced this in Eduard kit. It's not bad. I mean, the smell itself is quite special, just like the modeller's glue, so maybe you get a chance to experience it as well. But believe me, it is here. So we have a clear sprue here. And parts division is standard for Focke-Wulf kits, so in case you had a assembly process or you assembled the Focke-Wulf from Eduard before, you will be familiar here because we have frontal section and the rear section, and obviously you can replicate the open cockpit with these parts. In my opinion, that's really important in 1/48 scale. It would be strange to see a one-piece assembly, and molding quality is really good. This is a Profipack, so it means you get masks and basically you are covered out of the box, and it should speed up the assembly process because you won't have to deal with cutting masks with your own hands. Next, we have another gray plastic sprue. Let's place it like this and zoom out first so that you can take a look at the whole sprue. So here we have two Cockpit 4 parts. We have several types of the propellers, several types of the landing gear wheel wells, engine insert, and yes, this is insert. There is no full, let's say, fledged engine, so in case you would like to replicate an engine on your aircraft, you will have to get the separate brass set, otherwise it's not possible in this kit. And this was done in order to simplify the assembly process, so some modelers will be happy to see it. And now we can zoom in so that we can discuss all these elements in a bit more detailed state. So here we have landing gear legs. That's another thing you can upgrade. There is a brass set or bronze set available for these legs. So in case you like metal in your model, definitely get them because it's a really beautiful looking upgrade. Next, we continue with some cowling parts. As I said, frontal section is molded as a single piece part, and that should help you avoid any unnecessary gaps and seams in such visible area. Next, we have some parts for the main landing gear wheel wells and special attachments for the bomb rack. Here we have another version of the landing gear legs, another version of the Cockpit 4, another version of the propeller. Here we have three types of the engine fans and main landing gear wheel wells. I will flip it over in just in a second, but engine insert you can take a closer look as well. As I said, in case you would like a full-fledged engine, get a brass set, it's worth it. And here you can see the wheel wells parts, which look quite fine. And of course, it would be a good idea to use a mirror stand in order to show what is under the aircraft. Okay, next we continue with second gray plastic sprue from this bag. This one is full of thin parts, so I'm handling it more or less carefully. And as you can see, we have cockpit parts, we have landing gear parts, but they're really small, even considering the fact that this is a 1/48 scale. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip. So be ready to use tweezers, otherwise it might be a really tricky business to do the right installation with bare fingers. So here you can see landing gear wheels. Obviously they can be upgraded with pressing, so it would be a good idea because pressing wheels look really gorgeous on the model. They have some features on the tire walls, which is really important in this scale because it's already large enough to be recognizable on the finished kit. Here we continue with another type of the landing gear wheels. Next we have some parts for the landing gear legs and some parts for the cockpit. As you remember, cockpit will be upgraded with the PE parts, so that's why we have several types of the instrument panel. You have one with pre-molded dials, one plain, and plain can be used for PE and decals. Next we have exhaust stacks. These ones can be also upgraded with PE parts. And landing gear wheels for the tail section, and what else? Antennas, And I'm not sure when these antennas will be handy, because as far as I remember, they did not release the night version yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not remember. So here is the last grey plastic sprue in this kit. As you can see, it is mainly dedicated to external parts. We have ailerons here, we have rudder and elevators, fuel tanks, also machine gun bay covers here as well, and also some parts for tail wings, which should be glued out of two halves. Again, external features are pretty much the same, and if I flip it over, you can notice that we have guiding elements which will help you with alignment of all these parts together. So nothing, I would say, special here in a good sense, because everything looks like a really good kit. Next we continue with a special bonus for a Profipack. I would say that's traditional bonus for a Profipack, because we have a small P thread. Here it is. And you can notice that here we have dials with glazing on them, which is an important feature in 1/48 scale, because it replicates the glasses on the instrument panel, so quite a handy thing. And don't be worried about this white finish, it's easy to remove with a special solution, for example with thinner for paints, obviously. Next we continue with the mask sheet. So this one is also standard for Profipacks. It's a pre-cut mask sheet, so it will be handy not only for the landing gear views but also for the cockpit canopy. Okay. And one more thing is a decal sheet. Actually there are two of them, and I'm going to open it right now, so just give me a sec. Okay, so it's rather, I would say, unusual format, because it's not equally sized. It's really wide, and here you can see it. So let's call it a main decal sheet, because here we have all necessary symbols for 6 marking options, as you remember. We have a segmentation here, which is a really cool addition, because it will help you with easier cutting through this decal sheet. We also have decals for the cockpit, so in case you don't want to use PE parts, you have to use, or you can use, these decals. And we also have swastika both in full form and in cut out form, so if you live in a country where they cut off this section, you can combine it out of 2 symbols, so it is still included. And next we have another decal sheet. As you remember, I said there are 2 of them. So this one is dedicated to stencils. Note the printing date. It was printed in 2017. Still, it is applicable with Focke-Wulf 190A-5. And printing quality looks good even today. And next thing is the assembly manual. So here we should zoom out as much as we can, because it's a large brochure with a cover print, and on the first page you can see short history note, and as far as I can guess, no, it is only on the first page. So next is the parts map, and note how many parts are not used. This blue color actually means that they're not used in this build. And assembly process starts with the cockpit. Straight away you have to work with PE parts, so be ready for that. And here you can see combination of the fuselage halves together, then we join them with the wing parts. Actually, we start assembling wing parts, then we assemble the wheel wells, and then we join wing halves, and only then we glue wing to the fuselage here. And we also install some fuselage panels, as you can see here. Next we continue with tail wings, elevators, rudder, and frontal cowling sections. Here you can see landing gear assembly. And next there are some minor things getting installed into the main wheel wells. Of course, pitot tube is molded separately, so be sure not to break it. And next we have propeller assembly, canopy here. And note that there are different parts to be used for the closed and open version, so pay attention to this. And next we have alignment guide, because Focke-Wulf is famous for its unusual landing gear angle. Here you can see Canopy installation for the closed version. And next we have Masks application guide, which covers not only the Canopy parts but also landing gear wheels, and basically saves you some time in a painting process. Here we continue with the marking guide. So first one comes from spring 1943, another one is from May 1943, and two more, April and May 1943, and another pair from June 1943 and July 1943. And note that every aircraft has yellow tail. I guess we all know what this means. And here you can see stenciling guide for this aircraft. Do not be lazy, apply all these tiny writings and your model will be only better looking from such addition. So as I say, this set should be already available. You can get it on Eduard website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release here in the comment section below. If you like this video, do not forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today and bye!